Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I've had a few of you asking, inquiring where I've been. I've been here. I've also been away. I've been volunteering. I've been a lot of places, except not really in my garden that much. For the last week and a half, it's been rainy, cold, windy, not really worth gardening and being out in the garden too much. And before that, I had like one day where it was absolutely beautiful out, where I was home between being on a holiday and doing some volunteer work, where I just made a mad dash of planting up most of my garden and a couple of my pots, but I really haven't done much because then the forecast completely changed on me from what I thought it was going to be of just a couple of cold days or cool days to just weeks on end of it. So luckily, I didn't do too much, get too far ahead of myself, because now I have a lot of plants that are outside. I brought everything out of my grow room, and I have a lot of things outside. Some are just sitting on my deck. Some are brought back into my greenhouse. They'd already been out of my greenhouse, and we're just kind of in hold mode, waiting for this cool, massive air to move on. We've had lots of great moisture, which we needed, even after all the snow this winter, but it's been chilly. In fact, tomorrow night, I think we're going to be down near the freezing mark, which is a little bit scary because I have my tomatoes and basil and everything, some of my begonias, geraniums out, and I'm trying to cover them as best I can, but with the winds, that doesn't always work very well because you wind up with the covers blowing off. Potatoes are up, peas are up. I think my onions are right off. I think they just had some sort of disease. They didn't look good when I put them in, and I thought they just needed to be out in the soil, and sometimes that'll just perk things up that have been in the grow room, but I don't know. I just think they just weren't doing well, so I don't think I'll really get much out of that. I have lots of cabbage and broccoli coming. My cauliflower, I think, succumbed to the winds, and cauliflower is quite sensitive to fluctuations in temperature, and we had like nights right around freezing, just below freezing, and then days up in like the high 20s and low 30s. So that's a lot for cauliflower. So I just think that was just too much for them, especially early on in their little lives. My peppers are still in my greenhouse here. I had taken them out. They're back inside here. I'm looking down because they're right below me. Lots of plants in this greenhouse that are just in hold mode. What I've done, because the greenhouse, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of sun shining on me right now. That's the most sun I've seen in days. So I've actually have my heat mats out here, and overnight or on some of the very cold days where we're like barely getting above freezing, I've been just turning the heat mats on underneath the plants. And then they can just have that bottom heat, and that's enough to just get them through these few days. But really, if I didn't realize it was going to be this cold and this cloudy for this long, I'd have probably left them in the house under my grow lights. But once they're outside, I don't like taking them back in. You just run the risk of bringing bugs in, and I haven't had any fungus gnats or anything in the house all year, so I really don't want to start introducing those things. But they'll be fine out here. They're not doing much. They're just kind of stunted. And the same, my cherries are all in full bloom, and it's not really warm enough for the pollinators to be out. So other than my Juliet tree that was blooming on the couple of warm days we had, and I did see a couple bees working that, I'm not sure I'll even get cherries with the way the weather's been, but blooms aren't freezing off. They just don't have pollinator action. So that's kind of the update. So I just came out here because the sun is trying to peek out of the clouds a little bit, and I really just need some sunshine in my life these days. So I just came out, and I'm going to do a succession sowing of some broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage so that they're ready in a month to put outside and replace some of the things that will be coming out. And then I decided I'll start some sunflowers and just kind of play around with seeds. I just need to get my hands in the dirt and the soil. I'm just needing that. And as gardeners, I'm sure you all understand that. So I would not be a good coastal person. I'm used to the prairies and the sunshine. So this weather is just I just need to feel like it's gardening season. So the rain is great. It's bringing out lots of, it's giving us all that moisture that we need, and it's going to be great for the plants. My rain barrels are all overflowing, which is wonderful, and I have 7 big rain barrels. So that's wonderful. I'm very happy about that, and I keep trying to, get some of the water out of them and into watering cans and things, and just so they can keep topping up. But I don't want to waste that precious water here on the prairies. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to these days. Just a quick little video, because I know a lot of you have been asking, and I know I haven't been on here very much. I have been really busy with other things, and there just isn't a lot of gardening going on. And when I was gardening, I just really had to I was just trying to get as much done as I could in a very short amount of time, and I just really couldn't bring the camera along. And there's lots of videos that you can find on my channel of me planting tomatoes, planting peas, planting potatoes. Actually, I think I did do a video of me planting the potatoes, because that was a while ago. Like all of those things I have videos on already, so I thought you can find them if you really want that content, or other content creators have them as well. So you can find those things. But yeah, I will bring you along when I get, some good weather and I'm out doing some things and I just have more time. Just haven't had a lot. I don't want to waste your time with useless content, but yeah, I have been out. Like I said, I'm going to be planting some sunflowers and things today. I'm just putting them in these little pots inside. I'm going to try a few. I had my sweet peas in here, but I've already planted them out. And these are just like a root trainer. They say sunflowers don't like their roots disturbed, so I thought, well, I'll see if these sunflowers grow in this way do any better than sunflowers growing the other way. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put the sunflowers. They might not even wind up in my yard. They might wind up somewhere else. But I always like to have them. I think they're a pretty plant and they're good for the pollinators, so I like to grow a few. I do like them for cut flowers, so I'll see. I think I have a few short pollenless varieties. So we'll see. I might still get a few of those tucked in the yard, but kind of running out of room for really big sun-loving flowers. And then the cauliflower and that will just go in one of these little trays. And the greenhouse usually stays fairly humid, so I'm not going to worry about humidity domes and things in here. And I am just going to leave these seeds out here, so they will take longer to germinate. My heat mats are full. They won't sit on a heat mat. So without it being, it's staying around like 10 Celsius in here. So that's not ideal temperatures for them to germinate, but they will germinate eventually. And it's just more about soil therapy for me, gardening therapy today, than anything else. I got all of the seeds planted that I wanted to plant, and got a little bit of soil under my fingernails, which always feels good. Just in case you were wondering, I was just using a mix of my homemade compost and then some just really cheap generic potting soil that I pick up at Costco. Actually, I store my homemade compost in the bag. So let's see. What's this called? The Answer. So that's just what I use. It's some of the most inexpensive potting soil that I can get, and I use a lot of potting soil, though this year with me mixing it in with my homemade compost, I've gone through a lot less than usual, and I've always had good luck with it. I do know other people that have purchased it and had really kind of gross bags with garbage and things in them, so I guess it kind of depends on your area what you get out of it. I hope you enjoyed watching me do those seeds up. I just turned on some music and enjoyed it and listened to the rain in the background, and just, like I said, just had a little bit of planting therapy. I set all the pots outside for right now just to sit in the rain. It's a pretty nice gentle rain right now, so they'll just get watered that way. And then I'll bring them in here tonight just to be, so they don't get drowned, or even in an hour, depends how long the rain lasts. But that's all I've been really doing, is not much in the garden. I've been one or 2 days, a big flurry of activity between activities that I had going on. And now I'm just kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that all these plants that I threw outside are going to make it through these few cold nights. I could work a little harder. I could, you know, do more. The one thing I have done is I've put some big jugs of water around my basil plants, and then I do have frost cloth wrapped around my basil and my tomatoes, and I have it pinned down pretty good. So for the most part, it's staying in place. It's not, because I have my tomatoes staked on big, like 6-foot canes, it's not totally closed in at the top, but it's at least cutting down on the cold winds blowing on them and things like that. So I think that is helping them. They are looking pretty good under there still. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around through the slow seasons, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.